So today we're going to talk about the top 10 reasons the WNBA players and the WNBA media hate and want to replace Caitlin Clark. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
So, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so with the notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next video. And join us for Caitlin Clark's crossover every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7 and 5:30 to 6:30, respectively, Eastern time, except for major holidays, so we will not be doing it on Labor Day and Memorial Day. So, Rob, the reason I did this video and came up with a list is because one of our newer listeners says, why do they hate Caitlin so much? I said, well, we've discussed this before. We came up with 5 reasons originally, and then it kind of got expanded. Other people had ideas on why they hate Caitlin Clark. And I don't think there's one answer to this, but I think the ones that I have at the top are the main reasons why. But since everybody else has their own theories, I figured I'd present all the theories that I've heard that I think have some significance and relevance to. So here are the top 10 reasons why the media and the WNBA hate and want to replace Caitlin Clark. The number one reason I think, Rob, is they're jealous and envious of her because for 3 reasons. She gets, and the key here is way. It's not just she gets more attention, she gets way more. She gets way more attention from the media. She is way more popular from fans, and she makes way more money than everybody else and will so in the long run. And she's white, and some people say she's white from middle America or Iowa. There's some code words in there if you want to read into it. And I think this is to a lesser degree, but she's straight in a league that's predominantly lesbian, and they're also an activist league, Rob, and also in those areas. But I think those 3 reasons together is the number one reason why there's resentments against her.
Right. I think the number one is perfect. That's those number one and the 3 factors in there. It was just if you can notice that last year, they just didn't like her because she was more popular, and then she was getting all the attention, and then all this the other players they were so delusional, saying, "Oh, she gets all the calls." She got no calls. She didn't get any calls as far as that goes. I don't know what they were talking about.
Right, and it was obvious what was going on. It was obvious they were jealous and envious of her, and so we don't need to. We've talked about this so many times that we don't need to go into it. And some people say because she's Catholic too, but I don't think that's a big deal. But I listed it in parentheses in reason number 3, just for sake of completeness. Another reason is they say she's a trash talker, which I think is overrated. I don't think she trash talks much, especially in the WNBA. And she also complains to the ref and is demonstrative in her style of play, especially with the fans, where she tries to get the fans going and stuff like that. That might be a small reason.
Yeah. I mean, the factor with the refs is kind of like that. She does talk to the refs. But I mean, like I said, being a ref, it depends on how you talk to them. And then usually if you talk to them reasonably, say, hey, what about that foul call there? And say, can you make that? I just got hit in the head. And then just other factors. But yeah, I mean, as far as talking trash, I don't think she's like I said, she's like me. I didn't talk trash until somebody talked trash to me.
And she said that recently in an interview, that she doesn't talk trash much. And she said, unless someone else starts it. She basically said that. So, and I don't know how much trash talking she does. And I don't think most other people do either, because they can't hear it. It's between the 2 players. So people say that, but I don't get the impression she does. I think when the other person starts it, she just doesn't back down on it. Right. This next theory is Adrian Ross's theory. And I think the basic concept is correct. The problem is with this theory is that they hated her before she exposed them, and I'll give you the reason. So I don't totally agree with the theory because I think they already hated her before that, and that just magnified things. And her theory is she revealed the WNBA players for not being as good as they think they are and wanted the public to believe and expose them as frauds. And their claim was that people didn't know how amazing they were because they weren't getting the attention and the eyeballs. So essentially they're saying, okay, Caitlin Clark came around and said, these players really aren't that great after she started cooking in the second half of the season. Because she didn't really expose them in the first 10 games, but she did after the Olympic break. And she was fourth in the MVP voting as a rookie, which is very unusual.
Well, I mean, the WNBA was not that good anyway. And then when Caitlin Clark started showing that, hey, I just came into a league, I wasn't supposed to be. I was one of the best players in the country, yet people didn't recognize that. And then when I proved to you, like, not only am I the best player in the country, I could be one of the best players in the WNBA. So that kind of maybe bothered them a little.
Right. So anyways, that's her theory. I'll give her credit for that one. Number 6 is her fans are true fanatics. They call her the GOAT already and are very loyal and loud and talk a lot, and they're on X a lot and all those sorts of. So they're actually very active on that kind of thing. And some people say that's the reason they hate Caitlin Clark is because they don't really hate Caitlin Clark. They hate their fans. That's obviously not true, but that's the excuse they use. But her fans can be a little annoying to the old guard WNBA, and there's lots of them too. So,
yeah.
This next theory is from Chad Withrow, who's on Outkick. I don't necessarily agree with this theory, but I'm putting this in again for sake of completeness. He said that she represents Trump MAGA America and that the old guard WNBA thinks that everyone who roots for her probably voted for Donald Trump, and because they hate Donald Trump, and the Red Hats because they represent racism. And that's his theory on why they hate Caitlin Clark.
Mark, let's move on. I don't want to even say anything about this. It's not even a factor. Politics.
I'm just listing the reason. I'll let everyone else decide how important that reason is.
That is politics again. It's like, yeah.
Their ideology, the ideology of the old guard WNBA, and that is another person's theory. And in fact, one person tells us we don't know what we're talking about. It's all their ideology. And I don't agree with them because the ideology by itself is not going to get you this hatred. It has to be magnified by something. And so I think if you look up top, that's what's magnifying the ideology, and that's the real reason behind it. That's my point.
I also say, Mark, it's not just the old guard. It's just that the players and the old players are scared. And that breeds hate. Being scared of someone because I mean, there's no reason to hate her. She didn't do anything to you, but I think in the deep psychologically, they're scared because they see, oh my gosh, she's a fantastic player. She's going to break the record. She's better than I was, and that puts a little thing in their head, which is really strange.
So I put that in for sake of completeness. You can decide how important that is. And reasons 9 and 10, she is not woke enough or not overly woke. And even if she is, she didn't say it early enough. And number 10, which I don't feel sexist saying this because women have all been saying this for the last year that we're right. Women are more petty by nature than men. And you can go up to number 1 to relate to that, Rob.
Yeah, I was gonna say, move that up to number 1. Add that to number 1. Yeah.
I mean, it's related to the jealousy and envy in number 1, but it's a unique reason, I think. So I put that for sake of completeness. Those are the reasons that I came up with. I haven't heard any other ones besides these 10, but there probably is some other minor ones that are in there. But we pretty much touched on all the ones I've heard over the last year. I don't think there's one answer to this, but I think if you look up at numbers 1 and 2 and 3, you'll get your main reason why they despise her, Rob, and want to try to hold her down.
Yeah, which is so, like I said, which is so number 10. It's so number 10, Mark. I'll just say it that way. It's so number 10.
I think the two are related, Rob, because I think the fact that it's women, it magnifies them being jealous and envious. That's what I think happens with that number 10 magnifies number 1. Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion.
I think I'm going to start using that term now. If people remember, if something like that happens during the year, I'm going to go, that's so number 10.
Or number 1 and 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so again, there is not one reason. There are several reasons. And you can convince me that all 10 of these reasons have a small sliver of truth to them. But I but it's up to you to decide. I can't prove any of these, but I think these are the reasons why. And it's a shame because Caitlin, if you look at this, other than maybe a little trash talking, there's really nothing Caitlin Clark did to deserve it. None of those 10 reasons have anything to do with her.
Yeah, the word.
It's her fault, at least.
I
You
mean,
know
the
what I
word
mean?
and the word hate. You hate her for what? Like I said, I keep emphasizing. What did she do to you that would make you that make you dislike her that much that you would hate her? So if you're watching basketball, if you're just a basketball fan of the game, you should be like, wow, you should be enjoying it. What's with the hate? Just enjoy the game, But I really hate her. Okay, what does she really do? I'm trying to say.
Well, you just go back up and look at number one again, and that's the answer.
Yeah, I think go back to we'll go to number one. So that's number one.
So I'm sure you have your own opinion down below. If you think it's just one reason, I doubt that's true, but give us your reason anyways. And if you like this video, feel free to share it with your family, friends, and acquaintances. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, what are you waiting for? And hit that notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next video. And join us for Kate and Clark's crossover every Monday and Thursday, 6 to 7 and 5:30, 6:30, respectively, Eastern time, except for major holidays. So just a reminder, we will not be going live on Memorial Day or even Labor Day. And if you want, you can donate to this channel with super chats and super thanks down below and a link to PayPal. We'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.